holy rounds the corner. This is Flight Check, Season 4, Episode 22. We're back, once again, talking all aspects of FlyQuest. My name, as always, is Sandy Toes, and to my left, and my extra left, my fellow World's Episode co-hosts, Noxwar and Curly Double Q. Fellas, we're only 2 days away from the World's Play-In stage beginning. And you know what the good news is? We don't have to sweat through FlyQuest getting through Play-In stage, you know?
We don't have to worry about that this time.
We get that free pass straight to group stage, Swiss stage. Yeah,
we get to
that's what it's called.
Sit back and relax and wait for Swiss to start. But in the meantime, it is still our duty to cover Worlds and everything that's coming up. So that'll be tonight's aim. We'll talk about all of Worlds, but we will focus mainly on the play-in stage tonight. And then next week we will get more into the actual main event. Once we know all of the Swiss stage, fair warning to our viewers tonight, I've got a stew going in the oven right now. So in a minute or two, that kitchen timer is going to go off for me. And I'm going to have to relinquish the controls to Nox and Curly here. Which I am
will go wrong at all.
More than confident that they can handle the pressure of the moment.
You just ask a certain question, and then one of Curly and I will start monologuing, and it's just enough time for you to get the stew to be taken care of. Like it's routine for us at this point.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it's not routine that I'll have a stew going during the show.
Oh, well, maybe not necessarily that part, but the monologue part. We can buy anyone here enough time as needed.
I am confident.
New weekly segment, the stew monologues.
I am confident in both of you being able to monologue for a period of time. And let's get those monologues started. We're going to do a segment that I like to call One Big Thing. And did not prep either of these guys for this, but I think it's the perfect thing to start us off. One big thing from both of you. So both of you pick who goes first. Leading up to Worlds that you are looking forward to, and both of you can take this as I'm gonna go take care of my stew.
All right, Curly. I'll let you lead the way on this one.
You want me to lead the way to this? All right,
yes, lead the way on this one.
My one big thing that I'm really looking forward to is FlyQuest, getting what I feel is a legitimate shot on the international stage. There was just kind of a loss of momentum in spring. And so they were not set up for MSI well, and then we were in this weird freaking lane swap meta, and everything about just that timeline was just full. It was messy. There was a bad aura. We had that one thing on the horizon that we didn't like that we were committed to. Like everything about it, that time was bad. And so I'm excited that now this is a very fully motivated team that has been able to keep up momentum. And then we all know how locked in Bwipo is for Worlds. He has been grinding, streaming. He has been yapping. He has been
yapping.
He has been causing wars and mayhem in Europe, going back home and being like, hey, there's a reason I stayed in America. Y'all suck. And I cannot wait to see him back that up on the international stage. If we go against Fnatic, if we go against Mad Lions, if we go against G2, oh my gosh, I'm very excited for it. But also, it's seeing that energy just makes me motivated against the Asian teams that normally, I'm not as hype against, because I'm all right, North America, woohoo, we got a shot, surely. But right now, my hopium dose is overpowered. It is twice the recommended amount and triple the strength. And it's just, we are going overboard with the hopium right now. And I can't wait to watch FlyQuest just kind of uphold that, that hype. And I just I need it to be next week already. I need it to be the Swiss stage. Just plans is going to be really, really fun, but I need it to be the Swiss stage, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very, very excited because I'm gonna extrapolate a little bit because you got the FlyQuest portion of it centered in, and I'm gonna keep FlyQuest wrapped into this section too. But for me, I'm just excited to see NA play. Like I think TL and FlyQuest are both playing extremely well right now. I think the quality of play is actually some of the best that NA has seen in quite a few years. I actually have a fair amount of confidence in them to actually bring it to a lot of the Eastern teams to continue to actually beat down EU. I really do want to see a matchup versus G2 because I think I have a lot of confidence in us to actually bring it to them and show, hey, all these rankings of having them like far and away the best Western team, I don't buy that for a second. Have you watched a single G2 game this year? They don't look good. They do not look good. Like, don't get me wrong, there's some clutch factor about G2 that always keeps them in the fight that makes it really, really difficult to actually beat them, but their quality of play is bad. It's really, really bad. So, I really want us to play G2, whether it be us or Team Liquid, and I just want to see how well these two teams can do. You may notice that I may be neglecting 100 Thieves here a little bit, and with all due respect, I love 100 Thieves, and I have every expectation for them to make it out of play-ins. Like, don't get me wrong, they still cannot fail to make it out of play-ins. Like, that's unacceptable. It's as unacceptable as us failing to make it out of play-ins at MSI. 100 Thieves has to make it out of play-ins. But after that point, they can go 0-3 all I care. They did their job. They got experience for their young players. They got what it's like on the world stage. That's what counts. So that's all I have expectations-wise for 100 Thieves. But I'm very, very excited to see TL and FlyQuest heading into Swiss stage next week. And now, with both monologues completed, Sandy, would you, sir, like to add what you're excited for next week? Or perhaps even this week, if that's what you're more excited about.
Oh, for sure. No, well, you took the G2 one, from what I can tell. I don't know, and don't tell me, Curly, what yours was. I want to see, I don't want to be influenced by your one big thing. But, my one big thing actually is going to be, and this is crazy, I know. I don't think that... I think that there's only 2 good Korean teams, and I think there's only 2 good Chinese teams. I think Weibo and Top Esports are not good. Sorry, Weibo and, well...
Spicy.
Weibo for sure, and... do I want to say LNG is the other?
Yes, LNG is the other team.
Yeah, LNG. I'm going to say LNG. Weibo and LNG. And I'm not even super high on Top Esports either, if I'm being honest. I think
Which is rare. For me, Top Esports has always been my default.
I think BLG is the biggest and maybe the only real contender from China this year. And then for me from Korea, it's only Gen.G and Hanwha Life as serious contenders. I
don't know. I feel like with T1, it's Worlds, man. You can never count T1 out.
I know.
There's something about them.
I know I'm already.
This one is for Reckless, bro.
I know I'm already counting out Faker, but I legitimately think that. All right, you're gonna call me crazy. I think that D plus Kia, T1, LNG, Top, and Weibo are all beatable by NA and EU. In best of 3 to get to quarterfinals.
Let me clarify. Not best of 5.
All right. So in qualifier and elimination matches, we can do that. If it's best of ones.
Best of ones, I think, is tough, but I think best of 3, it's doable.
I would actually prefer the best of 1 right now, personally.
Yeah, I mean, well, look, the more Korean and Chinese teams drop in best of 1s, the more likely that they're going to have to play each other for elimination. Which only can be a good thing for North America. So, well, unless EU gets in there. Is it still the case that Scout is out, right?
So
LNG.
officially, he is still out. I don't think it's been officially clarified, but reports have said that he has received the money to I don't understand the legal terminology or anything, but my understanding is he's received the money to make a down payment on the court fees, and so therefore his ban from traveling has been lifted. He's allowed to go to Europe to play and practice, but he still has to go to court and all sorts of different things, is my understanding, but it has not been officially announced.
I saw the jokes that Ruler paid the court fees so that Scout wouldn't have to.
So you got
could not go to war.
Those are pretty good.
That was pretty funny. I did enjoy those. All right, those are the big things. Curly, what was yours in 3 seconds or less?
My big thing was just being super hyped for FlyQuest, and NA as well.
Nice. Yep. You took the words out of all of our mouths, I believe. All right, let's look into play-ins now, starting with, we'll talk about side A, and that will be Mad Lions Koi, Vikings Esports from Vietnam, PSG Talon from APAC, and Pain Gaming from Brazil. The matchups being Mad versus Vikings and PSG versus Pain. And Nox, I think you earlier did a bit of a preliminary rankings overall of the play-ins teams. You have PSG and Mad as your 1 and 2, actually.
I do.
Talk to me a bit about that. Why do you have PSG up so high? And you did have, looking ahead a little bit, 100 Thieves at 3. So PSG, Mad, 100. Only 4 teams can get out, so you do think 100 will do it.
Yeah, they should.
But why are you ranking PSG so high?
So PSG, I mean, you have to consider, this is the same exact team that back in MSI took BLG to 5 games. Like, yes, I know they lost 0-3 to G2, like, literally the next series, but, like, this team has the ceiling and capabilities to be an absolute threat on the world stage. And BLG is a team that is absolutely in contentionship to win the whole tournament. So if you have a team in PSG who's able to take them to 5 games, this is a team that should absolutely make it out of play-ins. They should pretty much smoke every other team in here, no issue. And on top of that, talking to a couple different people, one of them actually, Dean in our own Discord, who decided to make it a point to do some VOD reviewing of the PCS. A lot of people believe that they've gotten even better than they were during spring. So that should be even more alarm bells going off that this team is actually going to be very, very scary when they get to the Swiss stage. So do not underestimate this Taiwanese team. They are extremely scary, and you should be on the lookout for them. So yeah, that's my thoughts on PSG. I don't know if you wanted me to continue though.
Well, give me your thoughts on Mad at 2 over 100. Why so down on 100 Thieves? They just took down Cloud9 in a thrilling 3-1 series.
I mean, can you really say they took them down, or was it Cloud9 just failing to like work as a cohesive team and get their crap together? Like, let's be honest here. Like, all the respect to 100 Thieves, you still have to do it at the end of the day. You still have to win. You have to put the effort in. You actually have to make sure that you are the one winning. But Cloud9 was not playing at the level of what was expected of them. And in my mind, we're pretty much sending a 4th seed to Worlds right now. It could have been Dig or 100 Thieves in that regard, but at the end of the day, it was 100 Thieves, and that's fine. But there's no way this is a 3rd seed from NA, in my opinion. This is a 4th seed that we're sending, and so for that reason, like, I know Mad Lions has like a 36% abysmal win rate over in Europe right now, but if they come off the level that they were showing in the playoffs that they just used to qualify, it's a higher level than 100 Thieves was showing in playoffs in NA. So for that reason, I'm giving, power ranking wise, Mad Lions a higher ranking than 100 Thieves. Does that mean 100 Thieves cannot beat Mad Lions? No, they absolutely can, and I expect any best of 3 that they happen to match up versus each other to be extremely close. Although I don't want that because I would favor Mad Lions, but yeah. So I think there's more momentum for Mad Lions currently than there is 100 Thieves. I really don't think 100 Thieves is all that great, but compared to the rest of the competition and play-in stage, I still have expectations for them to make it out as one of those 4 seeds going to the Swiss stage.
That's fair. Curly, looking at these first two matchups, Mad versus Vikings and PSG versus Pain. Best of threes, right? So, you don't lose once and then you're down to lower bracket. But do you expect either of these to be close in any way, or should we be expecting some quick 2-0s?
I mean, honestly, I expect PSG and PNG. I think that's actually going to be a pretty close one. And I think a lot of it comes from the fact that we just watched Pain Gaming's academy team rock everyone in the academy
America's
the Americas Challengers event.
America's Challengers tournament.
Yeah, and so like just a little, if they have a good enough system to be able to win that, I imagine that means they're like also doing pretty well for themselves in CB LOL, the main league. And so, granted, that was only a Western tournament, so it was only Latin America and North America and Brazil, but it's still something viable. It's still an accolade, and it shows something to the quote unquote systems that might be there. And so I'm pretty high on PNG, especially because Brazil to me is always one that can kind of like just really overperform for people's expectations when it comes to international gameplay. And then even if they get eliminated by PSG, I think they're going to make the qualification match in the lower bracket. And then for Mad Lions versus Vikings, it's real hard to say because I want to be able to bet against Mad Lions because, it's just Mad Lions. But, they make it to Worlds every time and they somehow make it out of play-ins.
It's true.
A good amount, I think. I don't know. It's just, it's hard. You want to be able to bet against them, but you never know what's going to happen. Personally, I want them to lose so that 100 Thieves can then, the convoluted way of the Mad Lions 100 Thieves matchup.
Yes.
And then on the other side of the bracket, I'm very high on GAM. Over the last few years, they've shown themselves to be really consistent in international tournaments, especially Worlds. And so I think they're going to be one of the teams that can make it to the Swiss stage. Because they even did it over PSG last year, or I guess they beat Team Wales, but even so, it's
I think the true wild cards are the Vietnamese teams, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's
like I don't know what to think of them.
Power level, right? Like people, they either flop or they're incredible, right? Like it's so hard for me to rank these Vietnamese teams because it just seems like it's not that they're on a different level, it's like they're playing in a different dimension. they're
So honestly,
yeah,
they have scrim access over in Southeast Asia, like they can scrim Korea and whatnot, but I swear to God, like their solo queue and their well actually no, they don't have access anymore. I think they lost like connection to LCK service or Korea service for some reason, if I remember it. I may be misremembering. My point is, whether they do or don't, the solo queue and the competitive environment over there, like it's almost like they are the Southeast Asian version of Brazil. Like they're just so isolated. They don't play like anyone else over in that region. They're just their own thing, and it makes it so hard to rank them.
Yeah.
Now I gotta ask, why? What? I don't know if you guys noticed this coach on SoftBank Hawks. Vikl, why is this like Vikla with a mustache? Because like just with that name, because it's even got the capital L.
Oh my God, you're right.
That's anyway. That's that.
I for
He's
one have never
actually
seen...
a really seasoned coach. Have you seen his history?
Let's look at VCal.
Well, he's been all over the place.
KT Rolster Arrows, KT Rolster Gold, Starhorn Royal Club, RNG, and then he kind of dropped off a little bit after that. But I mean, like he had some like pedigree in coaching.
Well, he coached
2015 RNG.
He coached top esports before they were top esports.
So I don't know, kind of interesting.
Supermassive, All Knights, Rascal Jester.
Yeah, he's been around.
And don't forget that SoftBank Hawks is Evi's team, by the way. So he's representing the 29-year-olds. He will be turning... he turns 29 in November. So representing my demographic is Evi. So there you go. I
So
think-
I was going to ask you a question. So here's a question for y'all in regards to Evie's team in SoftBank Hawks. I had him fourth. Is that? Do you feel like that's appropriate? Do you think that like? I was honestly debating if they should be over 100 Thieves.
I could see it happening.
So I think I actually have. I would probably do like what you have, which is PSG Mad 100, but then I think I would do Gam, Hawks,
Okay.
Pain, Vikings, Rainbow Seven. So
Okay.
my 1 through 3 and my 7, 8 are the same. I just swap. I just put Gam at 4. I just think that, like, as crazy as Vietnam is, like, that's still a region that I do give a level of respect to. And I just think it's hard to count them out. Like, I legitimately, I think that if the qualifying 4 are PSG, Mad, 100, Gam, I think that makes total sense. Like, there's a reason that these teams are in Pool 1, right? There's a reason that, like, Rainbow Seven and Pain are kind of at the bottom of Pool 2. There's a reason that, you know, SoftBank and Hawks and Vikings, like, the number 2 Vietnamese and the number 1
PCS
Japan team has historically never done that incredible. Japan's actually been thoroughly disappointing for folks every time they go. So I just don't think Hawks is going to be as good as 4. I think Gam has a better shot here.
All right, fair enough. I mean, it's hard to say. That's why
a lot of this is a crapshoot. So,
and that's part of the reason why I've always been a huge play-ins fan, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like I've always been a huge, like, ever since 2015. I've always followed the wild card, the international wild card qualifier, the invitational. Like,
right.
These are the regions that people know less about, and it makes the matchups so interesting because it's like, well, yes, the quality of gameplay is not as high as Korea and China. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. I care about the entertainment, the matchups, and the storylines. And for me, it's always been just so interesting watching these teams that don't get to match up versus each other very often, that are actually somewhat close in skill level, and getting to see who's, like, actually stamping their names in history and getting to move on to the next stage. So
Yeah.
that's why I've always been such a huge fan of play-ins. And I'll go into it more in the off season, but it's why it makes me sad that they're getting rid of, like, all these minor regions and combining everything into 3 major groups. But
yeah, that is very sad.
That's a topic for another time.
Yeah, totally. All right, let's look over at, well, quickly. All right, let's assume, because I feel like we all have Mad and PSG winning their initial best of 3s. Who do you guys have between Mad and PSG in that first qualifier? I think I still lean PSG.
I 100% lean PSG.
I'm definitely leaning PSG.
I wholeheartedly expect PSG to 2-0-2-0 in the Swiss stage. I really do think they're on that level. I think they're that good.
Yeah, that's totally fair. All right, so we're expecting Mad to didn't drop into the final qualifier. So let's turn our attention over to side B. The aforementioned Gam Esports takes on Hawks from Japan. And then 100 Thieves takes on Rainbow Seven. I think we're all probably agreed that 100 Thieves should beat Rainbow Seven pretty easily. I think the real banger matchup on this side is Gam versus Hawks. And Curly, I want to ask you first where you're leaning on this one. And then Nox, I want to see if you have any contrary opinions to that.
I mean, like I said, Gam just to me always shows up internationally for their expectations. It's kind of their thing. They always go really, really far, at least for the last few years. Even didn't they beat Top Esports back in 2022?
They had that crazy Karthus game where it was like the last minute, like, Karthus ult into, like, backdoor kind of thing, and it was absolutely insane, and it knocked Top Esports out of groups.
Yeah. So Gam is not to be trifled with. Gam is like someone that you should really respect. Because if you ignore them, they will just absolutely pull off some crazy shit like that. And then the CEO is just I have never seen anyone who is so hyped for their org. And so I imagine if you play for like a team that is owned by someone like that, you just are that much more motivated when you're on the international stage. Like, I cannot say with confidence that aside from personal accolades, some of the other groups are probably like, yeah, I'm here for my team. They might like the players they play with, but I feel like if you're part of GAM, it's just something else, you know? And so I think they're very, very motivated, and I think they're going to go far. I can see them absolutely obliterating SoftBank Hawks.
Wow, obliterating? So you think it'll be a 2-0?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Because, Sandy, I have a feeling that you're also leaning the GAM route, right?
I think I am, just purely based on historics, but I am willing to hear alternative theories. How about that?
Alternative theories.
I will, you know what? I will back the Japanese here, or the Japanese Koreans, since it's 3 Koreans and 2 Japanese, but it's still from the Japanese region. So, I'm gonna back SoftBank Hawks though. I think that the region is a more challenging region, at least at the higher echelons of the teams, and then the VCS. I believe that, especially having PSG in the region and having them as scrim partners at least towards the end of playoffs, has really helped level them up and helped them get better. And I really do think they become sharper because of it. And so all that combined, I believe that has leveled them up past what GAM has been able to show purely in Vietnam. So, however, I think this is going to be an absolute bloodbath. I think it's going to be extremely close. I think it'll be a 2-1, but I'm going to take the Hawks on this. I really do think that, especially Evie, and I've been a huge fan of Forrest. I thought Forrest has been a decent jungler in the LGL region and really showed up in the PCS playoffs as well. I really do think he's going to give it to Levi and Kiaya, and that'll be like the two, like the matchups that you guys want to watch. It'll be the top jungle. That'll be what's really, really interesting in this matchup, I think. So, yeah, I'm gonna go SoftBank Hawks 2-1.
All right, I think that's very respectable, and I think this is really a matchup that could be very coin flippy, which is why I'm so excited for it. That matchup is 8 a.m. this Thursday. Do not miss it for sure. All right, so either way, GAM versus SoftBank Hawks, whoever wins, the winner of it, do you think that 100 Thieves will take them down? Assuming 100 Thieves beats R7, do you think 100 Thieves has a shot against GAM or Hawks here?
Yes. I'm still going to back 100 Thieves. They should win both matchups. I do not expect them going into loser bracket. If they go into loser bracket, that does not bode well. Because realistically, if you drop into lower bracket, especially if you lose to Rainbow 7, I think if you drop in lower against Rainbow 7, like, just count them out. They're done. Because at that point, they have to face the loser of MDK or PSG.
Right.
And you're not winning that. Sorry. So, as long as they beat Rainbow 7, there's still a chance. But
no, the losing to 100 R7, they'd face GAM and SHG as the qualifiers at cross brackets.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm saying if they won that, though, they'd have to play the loser of MDK or PSG.
Whoops.
Because they can still. Because I still think they can beat anyone in the group. Yeah, they can beat anyone in this group. But if they lose to R7, like, they're probably not going to beat SHG or GAM. But in the off chance that they suddenly do, they still have to play PSG or MDK. And I don't see a world where that happens.
They only you have to think about the fact that if they lose to R7, it's really the only way that they could face Mad if Mad wins their first game. Yeah, they're just doing everyone a favor. This isn't.
You just want the EU versus NA matchup.
I just want 100 Thieves to kick Mad Lion's ass. I think it would be hilarious. I think it would be the best thing.
that would be a hell of a timeline that I would support. I just don't think it's a timeline that's likely.
I mean, like, I'd rather have it in play-ins, but like, it'll probably eventually happen on the Swiss stage if they both make it out. But it would just be so much funnier in play-ins.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, so I think in the event that they lose to Rainbow Seven, they're out no matter what. But if they beat Rainbow Seven, which they should, I still think they should have the capability to beat SoftBank or GAM. They're still an LCS team. We're still the better region. They have better grinding capabilities against other teams like Team Liquid and FlyQuest. They've been over in Europe already grinding away in solo queue and champs queue. I know Quiz has been on an absolute tear in solo queue. He had like a 43 win streak solo queue record at one point in time and was absolutely just destroying European solo queue. These guys are grinding. They're trying really, really hard. They're practicing hard. I have a lot of faith in them. They should also go 2-0 along with my expectations, PSG, to just automatically qualify into Swiss stage.
All right. I like that. I like that a lot. Curly, do you have a top 4 that you think will qualify all the way through? Who's your 4 that are getting through? Uh-oh, Curly looks frozen on my computer.
Oh,
so maybe I will answer this question.
Yeah, answer your own question, Sandy.
Answer your own damn question. All right, so here's how I think things are going to break down. I think it's going to be Mad versus PSG. And I think GAM versus 100 in the first qualifier. I think 100 and PSG win, so they're through, right? So Mad drops, and GAM drops.
I'm like having to look at my crappy graphic that I made earlier.
Yeah. So then Vikings Pain plays, and they would have to play GAM. The winner of that would play GAM. I think it would probably be Pain beating Vikings, but then GAM beats Pain, and GAM gets through.
Okay.
And then you've got Hawks versus Rainbow Seven, and Hawks beats Rainbow Seven, but then I think Mad beats Hawks. So ultimately, I still have Mad PSG GAM 100, but I think I have things going very much to chalk. No crazy upsets, nothing out of the blue. I do wonder. I think that people, if and when PSG beats Mad, people are going to be like, oh, what an upset. Oh my God, this was so shocking.
No, it is not an upset.
It should not be surprising. It should not be a shock whatsoever. Yeah. Really.
If anything, it should be a shock if Mad wins.
Yes.
That should be the upset.
That
should be the surprise.
if Mad gets that win. So, and then, I mean, I think unfortunately for whoever has to play PSG is just going to win. Unless, like, PSG just looks so bad versus Mad that they're just, like, mental boom. I just don't think that, like, Rainbow Seven or SoftBank Hawks or GAM can beat PSG. I just don't think that's going to happen. So that's my take. Curly, your turn for the question now that you're back with us.
Yes.
Who are your 4 getting through to Swiss stage?
Probably gonna be Mad PSG GAM 100. In fact,
Same thing that I've got.
Let me double check my picks. But that is exactly who I have. Yep.
I feel like I need to change it up now just so I have like one little wild card thing in there. Maybe I'll just go Hawks just for kicks and giggles, you know? But then it would have to be Hawks.
Actually, wait, I lied. I don't have PSG. I have PNG.
You have PNG over PSG?
I do.
No!
You have Brazil making it over Okay. I might have to toss you in the Curly... I might have to toss you in your own oven here, Curly.
That's the Curly hot take oven if I ever heard it. I mean, you gotta explain yourself here. Like, Pain Gaming, they're a fine team. But PSG is just very, very good. I don't think anyone expects Pain to beat PSG. So, where are you starting here?
Academy Challengers.
Oh, okay. They're just gonna put
That's
in the
all.
Academy,
That's all it is.
They're just gonna put in the
That is-
Academy Challengers team and call it a day, huh? Is that what they're gonna do?
No, it's just it's recency bias, really, if anything. Because if I just watch surely, as we as FlyQuest fans have always known, surely when your academy team is at the top of the league and winning things, that definitely means your main team is doing well too.
Right.
Right. That has always been the case.
Yes.
We have never been first in academy and middle lower bracket in the main league ever, never once, ever.
But we have won. We've won academy and not won.
Shit. All right, hold on. I gotta toss PNG out. You're right. PSG it is.
Yeah. All right. Excellent.
I just changed it. You made a really good point
convinced. The man's been convinced. All right.
We
So I feel
had him
like
join
we're
us.
all- Knox, can you remind me one more time of your final four? Who you have going through?
So my final four will be PSG immediately qualifying, 100 Thieves immediately qualifying, and then I'm going to go SoftBank Hawks qualifying through lower bracket, and then I'm also going to have Mad Lions qualifying through lower bracket.
Is that okay? So you have SoftBank Hawks beating GAM, lose
Yes.
to 100, and then SoftBank Hawks beats the winner of Vikings PNG.
All right, now
Okay.
hear me out.
Yes, I think
Hear
that's
me
a
out.
very fair take.
Does anyone want to take the gambit of if 3 teams make it out from one bracket? Because that could happen. It's a weird path to get there, but it can happen.
So
Uh,
if I had to pick a group that would be more likely to do it, I would have to give it to Group B.
Yes,
I agree.
So wait, how would this work? You have
Because so they
somebody
win.
wins there.
So win.
Oh,
That's
okay,
one
I
team.
see.
Lose.
Yeah,
Lose,
and then
win,
loser,
win,
the loser,
and then win,
the
win,
loser
lose,
of the
win.
call match wins their call match,
Yeah.
and then the loser of the first round wins their round and then wins the call match. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I could see a world where I could. How about this one? I got one for you. PSG beats Mad in the qual match, so Mad drops,
Okay.
and then 100 wins the qual match. GAM wins their qual match, or Hawks do, and then whoever doesn't make it through that first qual match, GAM or Hawks, beats Mad in the other quall match.
Yeah, it's one of those two teams beats Mad.
Frankly, I could see that happening. That's a real one for me. Yeah.
I could absolutely see one of.
Actually, I'm getting another change. I'm dropping Mad Lions. I'm putting Hawks up.
Yeah. I can totally see that one happening. All right, let's move forward here, and let's just cover Worlds writ large, but more of a mini preview for Swiss because we got to wait for the full teams.
Actual matchups.
All right.
Let's just talk about some expectations. And I want to specifically talk about expectations for FlyQuest, because I think we can do that even without knowing matchups immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my take. And, I know we want the team to do as well as possible, but this is going to be my realistic take. If FlyQuest finishes top 12, I will be satisfied. You've got a very young bot lane. You've got a very young mid lane. And I am more than okay if this is an experience year and Quad, Masu, and Busio just learn a lot through this World's experience. I think going 13th through 16th would be unacceptable. You have to at least be better than the play-in teams. But for me, going 9, 10, 11, 12, I think I would be happy with that.
What is a 9, 10, 11, 12? Is that a round 4 dropout?
Yes. So you would basically go
Or is it a round 5 dropout?
You would,
Oh,
I think it would
man.
be a round 4 dropout. Like you would have to go,
So
you would
1
get
and
to-
3.
Yeah, you would go 1 and 3, I believe. Well, hang on. No, it might.
This is
Well, it
really
depends.
hard
You
to
could be.
predict.
It could be a 2 and 3, theoretically.
Okay.
Because, so like the first 2 to drop out, those are 0 and 3s.
Yeah,
But
it would
then-
have to be around 4 dropout minimum because
Yeah, but then the next 4 to drop out, I think, might be 1 and 3, and then the final
Oh.
2 to drop out are
So
2 and
if
3.
you look at 2023, the way they have it like
I should have just done that.
yeah, the way they have it structured is so you have two people tied for 15th, 3 people tied for 12th, and 3 people tied for 9th is how it works.
Okay. All right. So then I will 9, 10, 11. Okay. Top 11 is what I'm looking for here then. So get to that 2 and 2, have that shot for quarterfinals, and I'll be satisfied.
So in that case, you do want them to make it to round 5. They have to make it to that 5th round.
Gotta make it to the 5th round. Gotta get that 2 and 2 at minimum. So win 2 best of ones at minimum. And even if you lose the 2 best of ones, that's fine. But you get the shot. You might end up playing a couple best of 3s along the way. I mean, who knows?
So here's the thing you have to consider. We're first seed. We get a play-ins team to play.
Yeah.
And one of those teams cannot be 100 Thieves.
Right. So we
So-
might get PSG bad.
Yeah.
We might get Mad good.
no, here's the thing. I don't think getting PSG is bad. I think we get our revenge. This is our revenge era. We won LCS against Team Liquid.
Yeah.
We will kick PSG's teeth in if we face them at Worlds. Like, I don't
Nice.
care how good they look at play-ins, the second they see us, they're going right back down.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
And
That's
so
fair.
I'm not yeah.
All right. So Nox and Curly, I want to hear from you guys. What are your minimum expectations then? If I'm putting it at a get to round 5 at the minimum, where are you guys aiming for? It could be the
I
same
agree.
thing. I'm fine with that.
You know, worst case scenario, we need to be round 5.
Okay.
I think it really comes down to what we get for our matchups because you don't know what you're going to get in Swiss. You could be KT from last year where you had literally the hardest rounds possible, right? Like, and that would just suck. Like if you get like Billy playing against I don't know, well, I guess maybe not Billy, but if you get like Gen G playing versus T1, and so T1 loses, and then FlyQuest has to play T1 the second round, that's really hard too, you know?
Yeah.
So my realistic expectations are no matter what, we have to have bare minimum a single win. We have to have a win. And I'm expecting it to come from this very first round. After that, it really just kind of comes down to who we play. If we get an any EU team, I'll put it this way, any EU team has to be a win. Even if it's G2, it has to be a win. Any Eastern team into a best of 3, I'm hoping to at least take a game off. Those are my expectations. I'm not going to put a round expectation or a placement expectation because you can get absolutely foobarred by like random placements of teams. Like if we just happen to run into like PSG who pops off into T1 who lost against like BLG because they happen to play them first round into playing I don't know, D plus Kia because they happen to have bad matchups as well. Like, and then we just go out there at 0-3. It's like, well, shit, that just sucked. That was an unlucky matchup, and I'm not gonna fault the team too much outside of losing against PSG. So yeah, I have a list of expectations. If those expectations are met against European teams and against PSG, I will be satisfied.
Okay. That's fair. Curly, how about you? Where are you at on it?
I mean, yeah, I want us to make round 5 at the worst case scenario. I honestly would really love to see us make quarterfinals. I'd like to see us make knockouts. There's a crazy world where we pull it off in like a 3-0. I don't realistically see that happening, but I think depending on how everything falls out, we could do it by the 4th round, especially because like I say we're going to win our first game no matter what. I don't care who we face in the lower bracket. We're winning that first game. In the second one, when things get a little bit more interesting, like that's where it's going to be hard. I still think at least half of the pool that I expect to make to the second bracket is someone we should be able to beat, or at least put up a really good fight against. And so I really want to see us make that fourth bracket push, fifth bracket as a last ditch effort. You know, I don't want to come from below. I want to come from above.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you would rather start out strong, get a couple quick best of one wins, preferably against maybe some lower powered opponents. It was so interesting looking at how they did, because play-ins last year, only 2 teams qualified through play-ins. Because last year, both LEC3 and NA3 did not start in Swiss, or it started in Swiss. And so play-ins was literally, remember the Worlds Qualifier series between BDS and Golden Guardians?
We don't talk about that. That didn't happen. That didn't happen.
We don't talk about Bruno. And then, but then last year, this was before APAC consolidated even more. So, Vietnam, you had 2 teams, Latin America and Brazil had 1, but then Japan basically took the other APAC spot because it was PSG Talon. So now, looking at play-ins this year, if you're Pool 1, instead of drawing a China 4 or Korea 4, you are guaranteed to get a lower tier team and probably a free win just to start things off, which is really not that bad, all things considered.
Yeah. We have a 66% chance to get a good draw. Like, we can get either Mad or one of GAM/SoftBank Hawks. Like, I feel good into both of those.
PSG would be the question mark for me.
Yeah, I'd be very nervous going into PSG.
And then, like, just theoretically, like, let's play this out a little bit. We get that win. I am hoping and praying that, like, G2 or Fnatic get a win so that we can get drawn against them. Right?
Right.
Like, that's what you're hoping and praying for, basically. Or, we, like, get a random win off of, like, a Weibo or an LNG or something crazy. I believe this year you're not supposed to be able to run into teams from your region for at least the first couple rounds, I believe, right?
Not until post round 3. So round 4 and round 5, you can have same region matchups.
Yes, which makes sense. But rounds 1 and 3, that is going to limit your pool very quickly of who
you also cannot do rematches.
Yes, it's going to really limit the pool. Like, there's going to be some, like, forced matchups, which is really interesting, I think, this year. So, like, there's a world where
I'm pretty sure
we play a play-in team day 1, and then we go straight into a T1 LNG D+ Kia, and it's straight to the 1-1. But then I think the 1-1 is where we thrive. There's going to be a lot of shitty teams at 1-1 that we can beat and go straight to the qualifying best of 3s.
I haven't mathed it out, but I'm pretty sure that round 5 is just going to be like, there is no draw. This is how it will be. I think there's a good chance that could happen.
I think you might be right, depending on how things go. Because, like, let's assume that you've got, like, 2 China and 2 Korea teams that are 2-0. You're just going to wind up having China-Korea to qualify the first quarterfinalists.
And you can't do a rematch. So that's automatically going to eliminate 3 potentially.
Yeah,
well, I guess no, 2.
I think by day 3, definitely by day 4, all the matchups will basically be. It'll basically be like, hey,
it'll play itself out.
If this happens, this happens. If this happens, this happens. This happens, this happens. and so on. And so
Someone get Charlie Day on a board. I just need someone to tell me every
It's all
possibility.
coming together. All right. I think that's all we can talk about for now. We all feel...
Crystal balls.
Oh, crystal balls. Yes.
What is your craziest crystal ball?
Hang on,
pick? That's all I want to
Let
know.
me sum up plans real quick. So we all feel good about pain. Not pain. Definitely not pain. We all feel good about.
feel good about Pain.
We all feel.
I
good
did,
about,
and then I thought.
We all feel good about PSG and 100 Thieves, and then we're kind of split on Mad Gam and Hawks. It's kind of a toss-up between those three for the final two. But everyone feels pretty good about Vikings, Pain, and R7 not being it, correct?
Yes.
All right. Excellent.
Yes.
All right, let's talk crystal balls. I have not done my crystal ball picks whatsoever.
I personally, so this is the hardest I've ever thought about crystal balls, because it's just, I don't know about you guys. My gauge on everyone is so all over the place. Like, I can't make oh yeah, this team's winning worlds pick. Like, it took me a while, and I'm still not confident in my crystal ball pick.
Well, I think, in my opinion, I think if you're not picking PSG Talon for the which team from a region with 2 seeds or less will advance the furthest, you're doing something wrong. Like, that should be a gimme. So
that's fair. I'm still putting Gam just because of history, but
that's fair.
Yeah.
But then,
I think,
like, last year, I wish I could look at last year's stuff, because it's like, which team will play the most different champions at Worlds? Like, you want to say, like, oh, a Vietnamese team. They'll play weird and wild stuff. But you got to put, like, a team that you think is going to make a deep run, because they're probably going to
put us.
I think that's a fair one. But I still think, like, you got to put, like, a BLG or a Gen G. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to get at least one pentakill? My God, there's so many possibilities.
You just pick one. You pick one of the Eastern 80 carries, and you go next.
Yeah, somebody who plays Zeri a lot. You know. Who's going to play the most different champs? Probably.
Although I say that, and then last year the only 2 pentakills were in play-ins from non-Eastern teams.
Yeah,
so.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, most total deaths in champions. Like, yeah, some of these are just, like, crazy tough to
They're hard. Especially predicting the champions one is the hardest for me, because you got to just predict the meta.
I'm trying to think.
You got to be ahead of coaches.
We had 2 pentakills in the... Was it the FlyQuest TL series in the first time?
Yeah, because APA got it in game 3, and then Quad got it in game 4.
Yes. I feel good about 3+ pentakills this year.
Yeah, same.
Nox, where are you on that one?
I said 2. I said there would be 2 pentakills.
2 pentakills.
Dean in chat said, when in doubt, go Nautilus for most deaths. Personally, or maybe not no deaths, just when in doubt. I mean, here's the thing. Who will be playing the most different roles at Worlds? I could see Nautilus. Whippo played him.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do...
I went to Leah for that one.
I put Seraphine.
I'm going to go a little wild with my which team will win Worlds. I'm going to go with the LCK Summer Champion, Hanwha Life Esports.
That's what I did.
Wait. That's what I also did.
Let's go!
I also did.
You know, the other day, I was watching a baseball highlight, and I think it was like a Shohei Ohtani LA Dodgers, like his triple home run or whatever. And I'm pretty sure I saw it like a Hanwha Life advertisement on the outfield wall, and I was like, "Oh, hey, I know that insurance company." Yeah, I'm going Hanwha Life Esports.
You know why I went Hanwha Life? I thought about the crazy stats of Zeka's accolades.
Dude,
all he has ever done is win Worlds and win LCK.
I know.
Nothing else.
He's crazy.
So why not just do it again?
Wait, which Drake do you guys think will be killed the most?
Cloud.
Dude.
I went Cloud too.
Cloud shows up all the frickin' time, dude.
I went Cloud. I think it's Cloud.
It's everywhere in my solo queue. It's everywhere on LCS. It's unavoidable.
I swear Cloud is like weighted to show up more.
No, I feel like, at least for this year, I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like when Hextech initially came out, I felt like it was Hextech. But like recently, it's been Cloud more often.
All right, this might be a controversial one. I'm going to say 0 reverse sweeps.
I also said 0 reverse sweeps.
Yeah,
I don't think it's happening.
I think that's the smart pick. Reverse sweeps are not common.
It is a smart pick. I'm putting 2 just because I think the state of International League is kind of volatile right now. I don't think it's like consistent enough. I don't think everything's going to be a stomp or at least 3-1s. I could see like.
What I was just when you finish your thought, I was just going to ask, when was the last reverse sweep at International? Do we know?
Well, I know it happened to Fnatic in 2020.
See, I was like, I wonder if it's Fnatic versus Top Esports in Worlds 2020, if that's the last reverse sweep we've had on the international stage. Oh, DRX is what Arkham is saying versus EDG. Oh, it was! Because EDG was up 2-0, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it was, yeah. Because it was that crazy inhib respawn, and it was like, oh, their mentals have to be shattered, and then they came back and won on Death's birthday, and the ultimate plot armor of all time.
The 1 HP Nexus.
Yeah, the 1 HP Nexus with the inhib respawn into Death and to lose the game and to go into game 3. Yeah, that was insane. The absolute mental fortitude to go through with that and still win that series is wild. Okay, so the last one was DRX versus EDG then.
Okay, so it's been 2 years. So
you're like, we're due, right?
We're due. So I'm gonna reel it in. I'm gonna pull it down to 1. But I still can see it happening.
Yep. Yeah, other than that, what's the like other interesting one? I went with Ivern as the most banned champion. I think that a lot of people are just not going to want to deal with him. I don't think people want to deal with the tree.
Banned all the time. I mean, is the meta really going to be that different?
I'm not sure. So, because here's the other thing. Like, I'm thinking about maybe changing it because I'm looking through the Americas tournament, and Ivern was very rarely banned from what I'm seeing.
Rumble
and I say this because America's tournament was on the Worlds patch.
Yeah, just like looking at...
It might be a Yone ban angle, actually. Hold on, I'm changing it to Yone.
I was going to say Rumble. Rumble has, like, the most bans in the world all season.
So Rumble just got tapped a little bit, though, on a nerf. Okay. So it's not nearly as bad.
All right, GOL.GG likes to crap the bed every time I desperately need it to tell me some information, so... Highest win rate? God, this...
Highest win rate? Oh, I picked Amumu.
Oh, Amumu's a good pick.
I think Amumu...
different roles. Oh, what is something that... Could be Zeri?
So, Curly picked Seraphine. I'm going to Leah. I think Zeri is a safer-ish pick, because you can go top, mid, and AD carry with that. I think Zeri's a good pick.
When have they been busting out top Zeri? What?
Zeus. Not necessarily, like, Zeri specifically, but just like 80 carries in general, Zeus has played them. So like I wouldn't put like it past Zeus or some other Korean top to pick Zeri in the top lane.
Ziggs?
I think King actually did play Zeri during the regular season too.
Ziggs maybe? I'm trying to think.
And then which team from
how much do you want to bet? Smolder?
Oh, Smolder actually is probably a good pick.
I'm doing Smolder for most banned.
Oh.
Ooh.
I don't think people want to play against.
Can see that happening.
I'm actually going to change my most different roles to Smolder.
Okay. So I'm confidently changing to 1 reverse sweep because the funny thing too is both of these reverse sweeps have been in quarterfinals.
Is Aurora going to be unbanned for Worlds?
He is enabled. But she was like heavily tapped in the patch notes, I think. Yeah. So I don't think she's going to be really present.
I also don't think people have been able to find like a pro meta.
I'm picking Corki for most picked.
Corky, so keep in mind, Corky went 0-12 in LCK, and that's before the Worlds patch.
Yeah. Did Corky get tapped though?
Yeah, Phosphorus Bomb got even further nerfed, so the wave clear is not as good. I would not pick. I don't think anyone should be picking Corky right now in this patch.
You know what it's going to be? Cassante. Cassante's
maybe. Yeah.
We're going to see a
I have Cassante as the most picked champion. Yeah.
All right. I think this is fun. I think this is a good time to close things out. We've got a lot of exciting stuff coming up for Worlds. We have a giveaway coming up soon. Be sure to pay attention to that. That's going to be on our x.com account.
Wow.
On x.com, folks. We love x.com, don't we?
For what it's worth, let me show this really quick. I still have the Twitter app, like the icon itself.
I'm jealous.
I have not updated it. I refuse to update it. It will always be Twitter for me.
Hang on. Can we get your screen back? There were a few things on there I wanted. Okay, so we've got Among Us, TFT.
It's super outdated.
Legends
it is super
of
outdated.
Runeterra, Hearthstone. What's the thing between Among Us and Hearthstone?
The Impossible game. It's a square block game where it's like you jump over blocks and it's really hard.
No, I know the Impossible.
Incredible. Incredible. I'm enjoying the show your home screen. Hang on. All right, Curly, you do it too.
Mine. Okay, here's the thing. I can't because I will dox myself.
Oh, okay. Well, I've just got the FlyQuest logo on my screen. So
okay. Here, hold on.
It's just all in folders. So.
Yeah, it's folders. You can't even see mine with how bright it is.
Location.
That's hilarious. No one come here. All right. Anyway,
mine just shows the weather and the time. So.
Yeah. Bam. You can see that I was listening to Leve earlier. If it stops getting shiny.
If you can figure out where tomorrow it's going to be 69 degrees with scattered showers, then
there we go. And my Duolingo. I need to do my Duolingo.
Otherwise, the owl will murder you.
Perfect. All right. That's going to be all from us tonight. Thank you for everyone for tuning in to this Worlds preview episode of Flight Check. Starts Wednesday, September 25th. 8 a.m. is the first matchups. If you want to see when 100 Thieves plays, they play 11 a.m. on Thursday. That's Eastern time, by the way. You're going to want to pay attention to our Twitter, our X account, for that aforementioned giveaway, as well as all of our instant reactions and thoughts to Worlds. You can catch the show at Flight Check Crew, myself at SantosDB, Nox at NoxWar with 2 R's, and Curly at Curly_QQ_. He'll get rid of those underscores someday, folks. It'll happen. It's right around
the one thing Elon promised that I was excited for. He never followed through with.
Among many other things that he has never followed.
Docker.
Make sure to hop into the Flight Check Discord as well. All kinds of esports discussion and otherwise taking place in there. And if you missed any part of this episode, the VOD will be up on YouTube tonight or tomorrow morning. If you're watching that and want to catch the show live, guess what? We broadcast the episode usually every Monday night, usually at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here at twitch.tv/FlightCheckCrew. Nox, any final notes, shoutouts, or plugs before we wrap up tonight?
I got 2. So first one is come join the FlyQuest Discord to join in the Worlds Pick'ems. There is a FlyQuest Worlds jersey being given out for free, for one.
Oh, yeah.
And there's also, because I have an extra one, a large FlyQuest LCS Championship shirt that I will also be giving out via the Pick'ems. So if you get in there, you play, you'll have a chance at not 1, but 2 different shirts. So make sure you get in there. Nice. The other thing I did want to shout out is the Race to World First for World of Warcraft is going on right now. I used to be a large WoW nerd back in the day. I'm not anymore, but I still follow all the Race to World First. They're extremely fun and entertaining. You don't even have to understand what's really happening. It's more of just like watch the number go down, watch them wipe a couple times, listen to the comms of the guys joking around a little bit, and then see if they progress a little bit any further. And then every now and then you can check in and see a kill video pop up, and you can see a bunch of nerd screams going off really loud as they scream, yeah, and all sorts of different stuff.
Nice. Curly, how about you? What's your shoutouts for the night?
My shout out is going to be to my university esports team. They are starting their North American Collegiate Esports Conference. Some of them have already started, some are starting over this week. And so collegiate esports is in full swing for me, and I'm very excited for that.
That is awesome. My shout out is going to be to... Oh, I didn't really have one in mind. New York Times cooking app. For all kinds of great recipes that we regularly use. That's my shout out for the evening.
Nice.
I was going to say, the stew you sent looks pretty good.
It's a worthy subscription, I guarantee it. All right. We'll be back next week to discuss play-in stage of Worlds, how that's going. I think, it will.
As well as the draw show.
As well as the draw show. It will have wrapped up by next Sunday. So, plenty to talk about. So, for now, we'll just say stay safe out there. Bite your teeth. Do not forget to hit the head on the nail. And we'll see you all very, very soon. Adios, everybody.
Have a good one, guys.
Peace, y'all.